It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome back to the InuYasha vlog. So, last week we took a look at the introduction to Kagura the Wind Sorceress and the duel to the death between InuYasha and Koga in the Wolf's Den arc. Now we're on to the next set of episodes, another two-parter that introduces another villain, and essentially more shit hits the fan. I believe this arc is called the Wind and the Mirrors arc. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'll fix up the title when this episode comes out. So, last time, things were pretty dire. InuYasha got severely injured, and so did Koga. He's off on his own adventure, but now we're back with the group, and they're trying to heal up InuYasha as quick as they can, because the motherfucker not only has a broken goddamn arm, but he's got a huge cut in the chest. So they're trying to figure things out, as well as figuring out who this Kagura is, who just attacked them last week, and essentially they believe she is basically an incarnation of Naraku, as Moroku puts it. So, we basically have our heroes kind of in a bit of a injury state, but we're still moving forward. Even though, technically, it would be much safer to go back to base and regroup and figure things out, but obviously that is not the case because we need to move the plot forward. So, in this episode, Kagura is kind of pissed off at Naraku for not telling her about this shit in the Wind Scar, so he says, don't worry, I got your sister Kana going to take care of things, and then you're wondering, who the hell is this Kana character? Well, we'll find out in this episode. So, we basically have our heroes continuing forward, and they enter kind of this bog, in this foggy bog, where this girl is hiding in the bog from these bandits with some lord, and this lord looks surprisingly creepy. I'm not gonna lie, he's really creepy, only to come across Sango, who has just been kind of just washing her face or something, and the lord sees her and says, wow, she's hot. Alright, bring her to the castle, I'm gonna smash the shit out of her. InuYasha comes in and says, yeah, fuck y'all, you ain't getting that shit. And our group shows up, and they retreat, the master retreats, and we never see them again. So, when it comes to this little girl, when she sees Moroku, she is head over heels over him. In fact, they have met before. It turns out Moroku had friended this girl when she was 11 years old, and asked her to bear her children at age 11. Okay, Moroku, I'm gonna have to ask you to take a seat right over here. What were you doing here? Now, technically, it's been 3 years, so she's 14. Okay, that's wrong! No! No! Moroku, what is wrong with you? Like, this is not cool, okay? Okay, I understand hitting on Kagome, I understand hitting on Sango and proposing to them, but a girl younger than both of them? That's fucked up, y'all. And I don't know if he ever does this again, but it's really fucking awkward and odd, especially nowadays. So, it is the one kind of fault that you realize Moroku is much more of a lecture than we originally thought, and Jesus fucking Christ. By the way, this girl, I already forget her name, I think her name is Koharu? Yeah, Koharu. She is voiced by the same chick who does Mayu from the, the Soul Piper episode. One of my favorite episodes of the series. And you can tell, you know, it's the same voice, because she's got that sweet voice. She's also the voice of Lacus Klein in Gundam Seed. So, she's back here, a little less annoying than before. She's a bit more of an older woman, per se, so the voices has to be a little higher up. So, we kind of get to see kind of Moroku's past prior to meeting the group, and, you know, the journeys he's gone on, and, you know, constantly, you know, place after place, you know, committing exorcisms and finding the right girl who can pass the torch in case he dies from the wind tunnel. Because remember, wind tunnel gets him, he's done. He's officially dead. So he's trying to carry on the mission to destroy Naraku, you know, because this has been going on since his grandfather's time. But honestly, this girl really cares for Moroku, and despite it being a really awkward and creepy, it is kind of sweet to see this girl kind of be like, I really want him to stay around, but he can't because of his mission. So they sent her over to another village, because it turns out that Lord dude was totally hitting on her, and I would go into much more detail, but it's pretty extreme what she talks about. So basically, they put her off at another village, and, you know, they spend the night and everything, because, you know, you feel really bad for this character, Koharu. But then it turns out this Kana girl, who is this little white girl with a mirror, has set a trap. And again, Narako up to his traps again. This is literally the craziest contraption of mousetrap I've ever seen in my life. I just made a commercial reference. Yes, I did. So, our group is now kind of in a bit of a pickle. We have InuYasha and Miroku going to fight undead bandits. So yeah, Kagura does use this technique again. She uses undead zombie bandits, or zombie villagers, and InuYasha's trying to defend them off without using Tatsaiga. Miroku's knocking them out, and they have to go against Kagura. So that's one corner. In another corner, you have Sango and Kagome looking after Koharu, who turns out is possessed by Kana. Sango uses her Hyade coats to try to swing at Kana, this demon that they can't sense, but then it knocks the Hyade coats back, and now Sango has a broken arm, so you're like, well, shit. But then Kana tries to suck the soul out of Kagome, and then you're thinking, well, shit. And then, you know, Shippo tries to stop Kana, does nothing, he gets knocked out, well, shit. Kilala seems to be the only one, where the hell is she? Well, shit. And now you have InuYasha fighting Kagura again, this time with a still broken arm and cut, so he's trying to get one shot at her, which leads to the second part of this arc, part 2, with an episode called The Wind Scar Fails, which, thanks for spoiling the title before I fucking watch it, show! InuYasha tries to use the Wind Scar, and it doesn't work. And then Kana shows up with her mirror and absorbs the Wind Scar and knocks it right back at InuYasha, knocking him out with more damage, more wounds. He's out for the count, and Miroku seems to be the only one standing, but even he's no match for these two, because he's afraid the wind tunnel will be put back to them because of Kana. So Kana's abilities, who I believe is also voiced by Janice Jade, because the Kagura and Kana are technically sisters, has the ability to use her mirror to deflect an attack back, which is a pretty good strategy for Naraku. Again, Naraku probably created him from his body. She's another incarnation of Naraku, as they put it. So yeah, our heroes are pretty much fucked at this point. Even Kagome, you know, she's still standing, but she's telling Kilolo, take me to InuYasha. So it's almost like they're about to die. And you're like, Jesus Christ, how much worse can this fucking get? So Naraku actually shows up and does his own dirty work, because the whole time they're thinking Naraku's a pussy. It's like, get out of here, you coward, get out of here and show yourself. And he actually's like, you know what, yeah, I'll come out and be like, hey, guess what, motherfuckers? I've got pretty much the entire goddamn jewel shard, the entire sacred jewel, almost done. Thank you, and thank Kikyo for giving me this fucking shard from that boring-ass two-parter we got a while ago, leaving InuYasha shocked to his feet like, wow, Kikyo, you fucking betrayed me, you bitch. Shit's just hit the fan in this two-part arc, but thankfully Kagome comes in, fires a sacred arrow, and makes sure that, you know, they can, like, basically stay safe. Naraku and Kagura and Kana escape once again. It turns out Naraku was only there to say, nah, 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 I got the jewel shard thanks to your girlfriend, InuYasha, fuck you guys, and then he takes the fuck off and yeets away. Leaving our heroes in a pretty shit situation. They had essentially 2 blows of defeat here in these last 2 arcs, and we end it with InuYasha pretty much healing from his wounds. Everybody's pretty much knocked out for a while. Pretty much at their lowest defeat in a while. And it ends with InuYasha realizing, Kikyo, bitch, why? Why did you hand the shard over to him? Why? It ends with a literal why. Like a Sean Connery, why? From First Night. And that's how we end it. That's the Wind in the Mirrors arc, and God, shit hits the fan. Our heroes are in very dire straits. Things are not looking good at all, and from what I gather, it gets a hell of a lot worse. So, how is this arc? I really like the chemistry between Moroku and Koharu. Obviously they had a bit of a friendship in the past, and now it's come full circle where she's much more of an adult and really loves this guy, and you feel really bad for her. And, you know, she even wants to join them on their quest, but they know, like, having just a human companion with them is much trouble, especially if she has no abilities, unfortunately. So, yeah, our heroes are in real dire straits. Kana as a villain, I like Kagura more than Kana, and it's mostly because Kagura's much more of an action-oriented villainess, whereas Kana is all bland and soulless and dull and does nothing but deflect the power, blah, 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 blah. And it just comes off really dull, a little boring. No offense to Janice Jade, she does a fine job with the material, but this character is just there as an extra side villain. I prefer Kagura more. Had you combined both characters, would have been a bit more interesting, but obviously that was not Rumiko Takahashi's intent. She had two characters for this, and that's the thing, Naraku's got a bit of his own group. You got him, you got Kagura, you got Kana, you got Kohaku possessed, you've got some Yosha, you've got demons. Naraku's pretty much set, but there's more to come. So, yeah, it's just another simple two-parter, but it has a lot of deeper character dynamics. We get a bit more of Moroku in terms of his characteristics. We have much more with Kagura in this one. Get to see her a bit more in this episode. And we see that InuYasha and the group, even though they've just updated a new attack with the Wind Scar, they're still vulnerable. They're still vulnerable, and they still don't have enough really to defeat Naraku. And especially now that Naraku pretty much has almost the entire Jewel Shard complete, means deep trouble. Now, I know technically Kikyo gave him the Sacred Jewel Shard. Her plan is to have the whole shard become whole so she can take one shot at Naraku and kill him, which is a really dumb plan, by the way. Why would you do that? That's a really stupid plan of you, Kikyo. I love Kikyo to death. She's my favorite character. But that was a really dumb plan. And, you know, I would much rather just have the odds where you have shards and then they have shards. I don't know. But I overall really like this episode, this two-parter. Do I like it more than the first two-parter? Yes and no, but I think I'm more leaning towards the Wolf's Den arc more than this one. I do like this one still. It is still a continuation of where we last left off last week, but it's overall pretty damn good. And I'd give this arc, if I gave the last one about an 8.5, this is about a 7.5 or an 8. Very well done, great suspense, great drama, and I can't wait to see what happens next, which I know in some cases is just gonna get worse. And not in, like, a critical way, but in a way our characters are just gonna get their ass kicked for the next few episodes, and that sucks. So, of course, I want to know your thoughts on the Winds and the Mirror art. Let me know in the comments section below. And, of course, all the funds are going towards, if you want to support us on Patreon, just $1 more will get you early access to all of our content as well as other special features. All the funds will be going towards an InuYasha fan film down the line. So, tune in next week when we see just shit gets worse. And I think this is where the straw is going to break the camel's back in some instances. That's the only hit you're going to get. So until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off saying, Moroku, why don't you have a seat over here? I want to let you know, Moroku, I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story about monks trying to have sex and bearing children from 11-year-olds. Now, if there's anything you'd like to tell us, we'd be glad to hear it. That's all I got, because I couldn't resist making a Chris Hansen joke. Alright, guys. See you guys later.